All right, good people, coming to the Jazz TV show is my dear good friend, Miss Kamesha Owens. She is a phenomenal person. I absolutely adore her. I met her here. Actually, we met on Instagram. And whoa, wow, it's just an amazing person. And I just loved her spirit. We exchanged information and she was just open to learn about me. We went to Cracker Barrel. We were crying, we were boo-hooing. It was just experience. But I'm so grateful for her life. She has definitely brought life to me, brought some love to me, and I love how we have levels of liberty together. She is a epidemiologist. She works for the state of Texas, and then also she is a music recording artist. She's a singer. She has a new single out that is available called When the Saints Go to Worship. It is a rearrangement of a classic piece, a classic piece that she decided to remake and put her flair on. So be sure to download her single. I'll be sure to put that information in the description below. And also, what else about Miss Kamesha? Kamesha is a genius, okay? Like, the girl got it going on. Let's join in and pop in on this beautiful conversation with my friend, Miss Kamesha Owens. Let's go.
Wow, I love that. Yeah. I love that. Kudos to you, Kamesha, for being a wise woman.
Girl, I had to work to that place because I wouldn't always. There wouldn't been a time I would have been like, you lying. Don't be lying to me.
Wait a minute. Of you to do such. Listen, you know what? I'm holding something very valuable to me. Okay. And something that you presented to me and gave me a Christmas, I want to say, in 2020. The Be Kind mug. It is my favorite mug.
Oh, yay.
I'm drinking my cool water right now. And usually I have my tea or my coffee.
Yeah.
Yesterday I put some punch and some ice in it. But normally it's tea and coffee. I'll put some tea and coffee in here.
Yes, that's multi-purpose.
Listen, when I tell you this is like, my mom is in town and she's used it a few times before she's been in town, Kamesha. And when I tell you, as much as I don't mind sharing my stuff, it's one of those things like, I don't want to share this. You can't have it, woman. I don't care how far you came to see me. So
I hear you though. I hear you. We all have those special things.
Yes, but I've made it known to her. I was like, this is my favorite cup. But me, I'm also the type of person, I'm like, go right ahead. It's okay. There's not another mug for you. Go right ahead. You can use it. But yes, girl, I love this mug, and it's a daily reminder to be kind. And I really appreciate it. I know you told me, like, you're always saying be kind to your children. Oh,
yes. I love that.
Thank you.
I loved it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to, when it's my turn to have my children, I'm going to be calling you up and like, girl, help me. What do you say to your kids? These kids get on my nerves.
Listen, babe, you know what? I've always made it a point to speak well of them in public, and keep the other things in private. But I tell you, this is a constant reminder to be kind to myself as I parent as well, and as I walk this walk, and as a grown-up with other grown-ups. Just be kind and test you. They will try you. And I like how it's doubled. On one side is be kind, and on another it's like, okay, now listen, we don't want you to go blind, so we're going to put it on another side just in case you forget. Come on. Yes. You lose it down in these Austin, Texas streets.
Because they will test you. They will test you out here.
Listen, girl. Tell you, I'm first of all, I'm having such a fun time with you, and what you all are experiencing is what Kamesha and I would do if we were at Panera Bread, or I think our first meeting was at Cracker Barrel, right?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell them how we met? Can you tell them, like, do you remember how all that went? I went out to all my business that's supposed to be in a book. But
I'm gonna give y'all a little bit because you gotta get the book. But she reached out to me on Instagram. Y'all, I did not know who she was, and I just saw when I went to her profile. I said, let me go to her page on Instagram. And when I went there, I saw this beautiful glow on her face, and she had a wonderful smile in her picture. And I was like, okay, what do I have to lose? She seems like she is a really cool person. She looks like she has a great personality just by looking at her photo. And when she came, she sent me a message, and she was just so kind in the message. I said, okay, she sent me a friend request, rather. Eventually the messaging came, and so I accepted it, and we got to talking and Instagram. Then we exchanged phone numbers and we started talking as if we had known each other for a long time. Like, we have been really good friends for years. So we decided to meet up in person and had such a wonderful time. She had me over there crying.
oh my
God!
God.
Good time with someone when they have you shedding some tears. And but she had said some very encouraging words to me, and I was just so grateful. At that time, I hadn't really had anybody in my life to just really talk to on that level, and she came in and with her encouragement, her prayers, and I appreciate our friendship so much.
Wow. Yeah. I forgot all about that particular part. Yeah. You know, but meaning the last part, of like the encouragement part.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Well, I want to have a turn and talk about you. Can I do that?
Sure.
Okay, so guys, I met Kamesha. Like, everything she said is just on point, and she was stuck to the script. She made sure she can give you all the details, but that, you know, I had just come to Austin, Texas. And I was meeting new people, getting acclimated in the city at that time. I think I was San Marcos. But anyway, I was getting acclimated to the city and just really finding my footing. And I was in a situation of switching careers. And the career I was currently in at the time, we were dead in the pandemic at this point. And the career at the time did not have, or was stopped offering the training was needed. Like, it was something going on that was health related due to COVID, and they wanted to restrict certain numbers of going back and forth in the office, all of that. So what ended up happening, I just made a decision to make a career shift. But in that time frame, I had some time on my hands, and I was trying to also find my way. A lot of you may not know, I was in full-time ministry, even though I was working my businesses and planning churches. But in 2019, God began to show me that time was over for me to do full-time ministry. And so 2020 was the culmination for me. The beginning part of 2020 was the culmination of me fulfilling that role of planning churches. However, there was still this teaching thing. So I was doing a lot of teaching on YouTube and getting all of these series out of my spirit, out of my body, you know, out of my mind. Anyway, moving forward, in that phase though, there were still little posts here and there on my social media. And yes, we met on Instagram, and I saw Kamesha's spirit, her nature, and some of the things that she was sharing on her page was similar to me, only to discover she was in Austin. I was like, what? I am right up the road. And so I said, let me reach out, which is something I don't try to do. I like to make myself friendly, but to literally try to produce and meet someone and like get to know them, like I don't I don't really do that because I know usually my intention is I'm not a surface person. I really like to get to know a person, and I wanted to make sure I was serious when I met Kamesha. Like I wanted to make sure, Kamesha, to be honest about you, like, do I have time for this? Do I have the kids' schedule's too crazy? Something in me pulling and drawing to her. I need to figure this out. So I was really intentional. And so yes, we met, and she was so warm and so gracious. Everything I felt and sensed off the Instagram was her in reality and more. And I will never forget those moments because, I mean, you know, being a woman in a new city with children, aiming to thrive, you stepped in and really began to be a friend and really was non-judgmental, you know, the situation. And I could say I was non-judgmental too as well, but I just love that there was such a peace and camaraderie. And even as things began to shift, I'm like, I think I told you, I was like, girl, I'm in education and I don't like the district I'm serving in right now, but but I also think I need to be pursuing, you know, like this entrepreneurial thing is in me and I got to keep that going. And you were so encouraging, like, I get it, I understand. And we have to be back to what you were saying earlier about your career and how you said, no, I got to make a shift in my career because something is not sitting right with me. It's being a CNA, being a patient's not sitting right with me. And that's similar to the thing I had when we sit down and talk. I said, something's not sitting right. I know I'm supposed to be in education, but I think it's how I do education. You know, it's how I work in there. And I'm so glad you stuck in the trenches with me because you have been a friend, tried and true, and I appreciate you.
Yes. No matter what seasons we are in our life, we always come together, like, you know, like we've been together. You know what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to articulate is, you know, I love with my friends that God has blessed me with, including JAS, is that sometimes in seasons of our lives, there may be a little bit of distance depending on what's going on. But when we come together, it's like the distance was never there. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
People are grown and they have lives. You know, we're at the age where you're not just sitting up under somebody calling them every day. Yes. But when I call and check on you and I'm met with a warm greeting, that just means the world to me.
Wow. Well, I'm going to do a little bit better because I have said I need to set some time for you and for us to really spend some time together and, you know, hear your heart, what's going on, laugh, chuckle.
And but you're doing it so good. I mean, I'm just so happy for you.
Thank you, beautiful. Thank you, beautiful. Well, you know what? I want to ask you, what piece of advice then, Kamesha, would you give someone that is trying to, maybe they're not a friendly person, you know, maybe they're not into being expressive with their feelings or who they are. Like, how would you encourage somebody that wants to be impactful but just have a hard time being friendly? Talk to them. Like, what advice would you give them?
I would tell them, number one, take a self-evaluation of why you're not appearing or coming across friendly. It could be something internal that you may need to deal with, that could be expressing itself on the outside, but not be a true reflection of who you are as a person. It's always good to do those internal checks. Okay, you know, what's going on inside here? Is there something I need to change? The other thing I would say is stay true to who you are. Don't try to be anybody else but yourself. That goes a long way. That goes a long way because everyone has a lane, everyone has an audience that they're called to impact.
Yeah.
And God made you who you were for a purpose and for a reason.
Yeah.
And He gave you that personality to reach who He called you to reach. So that's the advice I would say is take time to self-reflect on how you could be yourself on the outside and be true to yourself.
Yes. I love that. It is, that's so good. That's so good. That self-reflect and self-evaluation is so critical. Asking ourselves the hard questions.
Yeah.
And the hard questions can be some of the simplest questions. Why don't you like people?
I'm sorry. It's true though. You're being serious, but it's funny because it's like I don't like people.
a people. And so why don't you like yourself if you're people? And we could go so deep into it because there's levels of betrayal people have experienced, lack of trust, and some people don't even trust themselves, Kamesha.
Oh yes, I understand that.
I mean, they don't trust themselves. You've been there?
Oh yes. I went through a season where I just kept picking. I felt like I kept picking the wrong men to be in relationships with, and at some part of that part of my life, I stopped trusting myself to make good decisions. It became a fear, and I had to ask God to help me to trust Him, because at the root of it, I really wasn't trusting Him to give me sound wisdom to make decisions. And in turn, learning to trust God more with my life, I started trusting me again.
That's so good.
Yeah, but it was a process. Because when you've been hurt by people, whether it's male or female, when you've been hurt by people, it definitely can be a process to get back to that place of self-trust. So yes, definitely have been there.
Oh man, that's so powerful. I am so glad you took the moment to share that level of transparency with us, with our audience, and that level of vulnerability, because it is a trust factor. I can talk about myself. Jesus, help me today. That's it for another day. But I can so concur with you. Like, since we're on the subject of love, I see we done stepped into areas of life now. We're trying to dab back into love. So, audience, I know y'all love these subjects of relationships, so we're going to stay in this territory. When it comes down to, your now, making sure you handle your now and not being so quick to go to the next, that dabs into what you just said about trusting yourself. I can honestly say, viewers, those that are watching, okay, I'm not going to give you everything, but I'm going to give you some. This is the thing, it's been one of those things where you do have to find that trust level with yourself in order to make positive or right decisions on purpose partners. It's so challenging. One of the things that hindered me so many times is that, Kamesha, I can honestly say, being that I'm an only child, being someone, even as an only child, I had to learn that I am the only one that really needs to defend myself. I had to learn defense mechanisms a whole lot. And all those defense mechanisms were not always right. But one of the things I used to always wrestle with, and some of it now, and that I'm getting a grip on, is not rushing so fast to next. Really enjoying the moment of now. And even as a single woman, really embracing, okay, hey, let's say when I was in my 20s, hey, okay, I'm in school. That's my now. let me focus on my now. Next will come, us being millennials, even though we didn't hear it a whole lot, but it was still that thing of, when you gonna get married? When you gonna have children? You're 25, 27, 30, like, 20, 22, like, okay, that culture, built, like, okay, so you're rushing trying to finish the now so you can get to next, but you're making mistakes along the way.
Yes.
Because like, I gotta meet this expectation. That currently, in reality, if I sit down and self-reflect, like you said, and say, wait a minute, I can't meet that expectation because one, I hadn't even figured out who I am at 22, 23 yet.
Yeah, so true.
And then us being people that have been that are into music and music career, I remember so many times of having great opportunities in music, Kamesha, and so many people before me were going to next so fast, like they were shooting off the flames and getting the record deal, getting the promotion deal, getting the AR deal, getting the publish. And I'm like, what about me? I put all the work in for y'all.
Right.
Wrote so many songs. Why I'm not making the money? I can't, and I said, God, that may have been their process, but why am my process so slow? I need to get to next now.
I hear you. I hear you.
And so that has been something that I even had to learn, even in business, that God helped me to be okay with the now, so that when next comes, I would have absorbed and taken in all the experience and moments that now presented to me. So when next comes, it won't feel like a rush. It won't feel like I'm trying to rush love, since we're dealing with love. It won't feel like I'm trying to make this man or woman feel some kind of way. Those of you men that are into women, let's be very clear on this particular platform. But those of you that, are feeling like you got to rush love. No, love is a spirit. And it's a peaceful thing. It's a process. Yes. It's a flow. And sometimes when we don't trust ourselves, like Kamesha said, we really don't make good decisions in our relationships and love life because we're not appreciating the now of who we are, because we're seeing the end goal of the next. End goal marriage, end goal proposal, end goal children, end goal that beautiful home, end goal increase in bracket finance,
Right.
Man, it's real. That's so real. I love how you said, how you just really open up about trusting yourself, guys. Guys, we have to trust ourselves. So, okay, all right. So the truth of the matter, let's pivot a little bit. I've got 5 more minutes. We're at 46 minutes now. I'll give you 5 more minutes, Kamesha. The truth of the matter, I need to know something. Now, I know you're a scientist, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm calling you a scientist.
Yeah, I'm real with it.
Dr. Owens. So listen, I know you're into science, and I know that you are a psalmist, a singer, soon gonna be a recording artist. So there's a business to that, right?
Yes.
So how do you feel, or have you thought about that music as business? Like, has your mind conceptualized that?
Oh, yes. And because of the opportunity that has recently itself, I had to learn pretty quickly how much of it is a business. And I'm grateful that God has placed people in my life that have been educating me on that. And so it's been like having another full-time job. Working a 9-to-5, working on music, getting all the business, the legal ducks in a row, to release something. And so definitely. I'm fully aware of that and ever learning. And but I've been talking to God every day because it's been a little overwhelming. But I tell God, okay, every day, this is overwhelming, but I'm trusting you in the process. You
Yes.
provided the opportunity that was a catalyst for me to operate in where I am at this point with my music. And so I'm trusting the process. I'm thanking him for his provisions and I'm just moving forward.
Yes. I love that, and I'm so glad to hear that you're able to understand and know that okay, there is a business side to it, and if you need any advice, and I know that because it's in the introductory process is pretty new because it's a lot. It is a lot. It is a lot. You may not know what questions to ask me, so I'm going to ask you the question. Would you like for me to make sure you have certain things in line? Like I know you have your people, but would you do you mind if I ask you, okay, do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have this? To make sure that
Right.
your people are also sharing what's correct too.
Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely.
And I say that on an
I'm always
indie artist level, as an
Oh,
indie artist level, you know?
yes, definitely. I'm honored that you take time with me. I know we're friends, but you have a wealth of knowledge, and I just appreciate your expertise and your inspiration to me. Because you guys, this woman can sing, okay? And you can check out her videos, her songs. She has such a beautiful voice, such a beautiful presence. So
Thank
yes,
you,
definitely,
Kamesha.
I love it.
Okay, cool deal. I wanted to throw it out there because you know how I say, hey, if you need anything, you let me know. It is so broad statement, and I've gathered all this information, new artists coming into this new. Somebody needs to. She's not gonna know everything to say, ask. I gotta make sure my friend is covered in these
I
traits.
appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Listen, I'm so proud of you guys. Be sure to take the time needed to follow Kamesha Owens. Kamesha, where can we find you? How can we find you? That's the question.
Yes, so I am on Instagram.
Okay.
Um, I have a business page and it is under Kamesha Nicole O. That's KAMESHA NICOLE. And the letter O, all one word.
Okay.
That is currently where you can find me at for any up and coming updates on my music and ministry activities.
Fantastic. And let the people know this: American food or international cuisine? Which one?
American food.
Okay. Airplane, road trip, or bus ride?
Airplane all the way.
Gamer, golfer, or get me home?
Get me home. Get me
You gotta
home.
go bake.
Yes, go bake and relax in my peaceful place, okay?
Listen, y'all heard it from Kamesha Owens. Thank you so much for stopping by to Life with Jazz TV, guys. Be sure to follow her on IG at Kamesha Nicole O. First of all, wait a minute. I like that O thing on the end. I love that, Kamesha. Kamesha Nicole O. Okay, it's right here on your screen. She can be found again. She said Instagram and Facebook, correct?
Currently, I am working on a Facebook business page
Okay.
um, will be up and running at a later date. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Look, let me tell you guys, we've had such a blast and a ball, and I'm so grateful you all were able to peek in the world of Kamesha Owens and kind of hear what she's all about. She's making impacts, guys, and be sure to stay close. You can also find this particular episode and any of our other episodes every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yes, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. September the 7th is our first show that you probably missed, so go back and watch that. But this particular show is going to be posted the following week, so we're excited, so excited. That's Life with Jazz, but Jazz TV is what I'm trying to say. Jazz TV show on the dial. You guys have an amazing day, and be sure to spread life, love, and liberty wherever you go. All right, peace out. Take care.